Hey guys, my name's Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and I'm still sick, so I'm sure you can hear it, so I apologise if you have a problem with me breathing heavily or sounding croaky. Suck it up, buttercup. So yeah, rather than the topic I was making a video on, which just got me to rant angrily for about 30 minutes, I decided instead I would talk about the latest model I just finished. A far cry from Friday, where I was shivering so hard I couldn't even hold a paintbrush. Over the last day or so, I've managed to finally actually be a bit productive rather than just sitting in bed and coughing. And I've finished my Dark Elf Dreadlord on Black Dragon. And I thought I'd like to share it with you. So, where to start? Well, it's a pretty stock Black Dragon. There's one slight difference. I used a couple of parts from the Cold Run Knights kit, namely this banner, which is held by one of the Cold One command staff, and I just shaved his hand off and mounted it to the back of the guy's throne. Why? I just thought it looked cool. So yeah, Dreadlord, nice long spear or lance, and I gave him an arm which originally had a knife in it, and I trimmed that off because I just wanted it to look like he was kind of holding the reins, or just, you know, holding the throne sort of thing, rather than actually, you know, holding his shield up, because the shield hides a lot of the nice work on his, like the sculpting work on his armor. So I decided to mount the shield down to his leg, so it's like hooked on for him to grab if he needs it. And the model's quite a nice model. It is one of the larger models I've built and painted. Height-wise, not actual like size-wise. Obviously most tanks are bigger. Surface area-wise, realistically. But it is a bit of a big one. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the 60 by 150, I think it is, base that this is supposed to be on, because this is an Age of Sigmar model, and they don't sell it with the Old World base, which is rather annoying, so I'm having to wait for my next order from Element Games before I order that. I wish I'd known, and I could have thrown it in with the with my last order. So for this, I've dropped this model. Knocked it over more times than any other model I've ever worked on. I dropped it while I was varnishing it. And not a small drop either. Like a good solid 4 foot to the floor drop, which was not clever. I started with a Zenithal highlight on the model. And then I used a TT Combats paint called Strigoi Flesh, which is a kind of warm, slightly green grey. Kind of a similar colour would be Deck Tan by Vallejo. I don't know what a GW equivalent would be, but it's like a very ashen kind of pale skin colour, as the name implies. And I use that to sketch in all of these wrinkles. Like, there's a fair bit of texture on the model, and I just wanted more. So what you see here, this is textured on the actual model, but I've just made it stand out more with the painting. I copied that and I basically added texture along everything. And I did maybe 2 of that across every highlight of the model. I painted the Lord separately. And then I used the aptly named Druchii Violet and gave it a couple of glazes of that to bring out the purple. And then I did another layer of the Strigoi Flesh and another glaze of purple. And then a couple of glazes of black as well, because it was quite bright to begin with. I went for a paler purple. I can't remember what purple I used on the wings. It might have even been Strigoi flesh and then a glaze over the top of it. But then I basically just started adding the lines. Firstly in Strigoi flesh, then in Tech ceramic, which is again another TT combat paint. Just to keep adding the lines. You know, I wanted to just, because there's a lot of flat space with not much detail in them, and I just needed to do something to break it up a bit. So you can see it's a bit more subtle on the top of the model rather than on the underside, which is, I will admit, a little rushed. Lots of long, thin lines, then they were glazed over, and then another layer was done, and then another layer, and then another layer, repeated sort of thing. Because it adds to it, and then, you know, then only the last one really stands out, but when you see it in person, there is a lot of, it's very subtle, like wood grain texture. I didn't want to go crazy on a lot of things, so the armour plates and the spines are just black with gloss varnish back over them. And you can see here more of the purple. The army is for, I think it's Clarkarond, the shipyard city of Nagarond, whose colour is red, so lots of red and purple in there. And that's the logos on the banner as well match Clarkarond. I'm probably getting that wrong, it's been a while. So yeah, I want to add things like a Beastmaster in as well on a Manticore and some other weird and wonderful units for the army to show that it's a hunting party looking for magical creatures. It's looking for slaves. You know, it's raiding for things. You can see here I've gloss varnished the armour again, just to give it a nice difference of textures. Sort of, it's just a flat black and it's gloss varnished. It's supposed to look like lacquered armour. I don't need to spend ages blending and highlighting or dry brushing or anything else like that. You know, I've picked out the details in gold, given them a wash, but the armour itself is just black. The chainmail's silver with a black wash over it. And I've mostly been using TT combat paints for most of this. Apart from the golds. The golds are P3? No, not P3. AK 3rd Gen. And that's AK 3rd Gen bronze. Which I'm really liking. I've just ordered a couple more of them. So I've got another 3 of the AK paints to test out. Once I've got a bit more, you know, experience with them under my belt, I'll let you guys know what I think properly. And I used my absolute favourite Doomfire Magenta for the tongue and the inside of the mouth. And as you can see, he is a very slimy boy, using the classic Yoo-hoo and a toothpick. And just lots of black glazes as well to add depth. I must have painted those. The teeth themselves must have 7 or 8 layers of paint over them, because every time I tried to get the blends right, every single time I went through it and washed over it, it wiped out everything, and I just gave up in the end. But I think they look suitably nasty, nashy, and dirty. So yeah, that's my black dragon with Dreadlord. Obviously, then I've got decals, which were just the usual Microsol or Microset situation. Nice big banner, just to give him a bit of importance on the battlefield. So let me know what you think. Are you guys still playing the old world? You know, have you guys got Dark Elves? Do you like Dark Elves? Do you want more old world content? What have you been working on for this week? Thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you want to support the channel, and I appreciate those who do, you can like, comment, subscribe, hit the share button. And if you're in the UK and you're shopping before the price hike, which is pretty soon, might even be today, don't forget to check out Element Games. And you can use my code JAM737. Thanks to you, I managed to get quite a substantial chunk knocked off of a Heresy era knight, and I will be doing a video on building or painting that at some point. Night Lords got mad that the Blood Angels had some allies, so I had to get them their equal attention cake. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate everyone here. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.